Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Abdulaziz Jibril Salahuddin. I'm the general manager of Signature Global Real Estate, and I also serve as the group CFO for Standard Group Holdings. I also serve as the country manager for JTA Holdings, which is an equity investment company based off in Doha, Qatar.
Tell us about Signature Global Real Estate.
Signature Global Real Estate, we're a real estate brokerage firm headquartered in Dubai, UAE. We have operational offices in Nigeria, Lagos, and Abuja. We also have operational office in Indonesia, in Tangerang to be precise, and Jakarta. We also have strategic partners, in places like Portugal, the UK, and some other countries. So basically, we offer end-to-end service related to real estate, from property purchase to sales, both residential and commercial. We also do leasing for our clients. We also do property management support for our client as well. So basically, we offer end-to-end service. Also, we provide complementary services for some of our clients because we offer our services mostly to international clients. So in most cases, when they want to come to Dubai, we offer them complimentary services like picking them up from the airport. We have good collaboration with hospitality firms such as EMA, like their Address Hotel, Vida Hotel. So we have corporate rates with them that our clients also enjoy. So we give that end-to-end service to our clients just to make it complementary, just to ensure that they have a very good and seamless experience when they are coming into Dubai.
With the ongoing tensions between the US and Iran, is it still considered safe for investors to invest in Dubai right now?
Oh yes, I'm going to say it's very safe. Dubai is still one of the most secured places, not only Dubai, UAE as a whole. Because yes, I understand there are quite a number of uncertainties at the moment. But what is very key is to look at the fundamentals of the country. Here in UAE, we have visionary leaders who are very proactive, and they've invested a lot when it comes to ensuring that they've created an environment, a proper infrastructure, and policies that safeguards, the investors and people who are living here. For instance, obviously, when the crisis happened, that also shows what they've been able to do in terms of ensuring that they have very good, defensive systems. Even when you look at the numbers of missiles and drones that were used to attack different countries within the GCC, UAE had one of the highest, which was about 2,800 or more. But again, you could see that they were able to effectively protect the people that were here. We're talking about more than 4 million population only in Dubai. And when you see the number of casualties, when you see the number of damages that happened, obviously it's not significant. Yes, we had a few impacts, but it's not as significant when you look at, the attacks that were given. So those are very important things we have to look at, when we have things like this. And even when you go back memory lane, even during COVID-19, UAE was one of the countries that were able to bounce back out of the situation. Even when we had the flood situation, you could see the proactive measures they put in. So I think it's very important to see that beyond whatever happens, the fundamentals are still same. That is, the leaders who are governing the country, what they've been able to put into the country. And I think this is very key for investors to consider when you are looking at if a particular place is safe to invest in or not. Also, when you look at the macro economic, factors, I think they've been able to also put in a very good, stable economy. When you look at the economy of UAE, is one of the most strongest and stable economies in the world. I think in 2025, they reported about $285 billion worth of foreign reserves. Again, they had about $1 trillion in excess of their foreign liabilities. So all these factors also contribute towards the stability of the country, because when things like this happens, it shows how they are able to cushion the effect short term, and in the long term, again, when they make proactive decisions, they're able to again bring back things into its normalcy. So I think these different things are very, very important. And just to tell you how important they take things, if you look at I think one of the type of missiles they use to neutralize some of those drones called the Patriot missile, it costs about $4 million for just one of those things that are neutralizing those things. For drones costing maybe $20,000. So you could see how they've made it very, very as a priority for them to ensure that irrespective of what is going to come, they ensure that the residents staying here, the citizens staying here, the investments of their investors, the foreign direct investment that they've been able to get, they are, fully secured. So I think those are very key things to look at. So when you ask about Dubai being safe, yes, Dubai is still one of the safest places to invest in. And as I said earlier, the fundamentals haven't changed. The reasons why people come here in the first place is the safety, which Dubai still holds very strongly. When you talk about the tax benefits, those are still there. When you compare Dubai with different other developed real estate markets, it's still offering one of the highest return on investment, average of 7%, whilst other markets are maybe giving 2 to 5%. So those fundamentals haven't changed. And again, I think we have to continuously give in kudos to the leadership behind this country. And that would obviously give comfort into people who are investing in here. And even when you look at data itself, or the data that is provided, even Q1 of 2026, whilst we had that situation, Dubai still recorded a very strong result in terms of transactions. Transactions went up, I believe, about 31%, even more than 2025 Q1. Our transactions went as high as 252 billion dirhams worth of transactions. That increased from, I think, 250 billion from 2025 Q1. So it still shows that there was still very good confidence for investors who are coming in. So again, I believe that would give confidence into other people who are also considering Dubai as a safe place to invest. So yes, Dubai is safe. Obviously, there are short-term impacts from what has happened, but in the long run, those fundamentals are still same. And I think one thing we also need to mention is how proactive the government is. Because you could see even, I think a few days ago, they just announced that they are exiting OPEC, because obviously they had some constraints with regards to the supply they were able to provide. And with this decision they've made, obviously I believe it was something they believe would be to the best interest of their country. And when you look at the projections, I think now they are doing about 3.3. With this decision, they'll be able to go full capacity of about 5 million per day. So when you look at the projection, this will probably give them an additional $50 billion worth of inflow coming into the economy, which will again provide that proper stability and cushion to the economy at large. So I think for international investors, these are the things to look at when considering investments. And I believe Dubai still check those boxes when you compare Dubai to anywhere in the world to invest.
What's happening in the Dubai real estate market right now?
At the moment, I believe it's a buyer's market to start off. We've seen quite a number of developers being very flexible when it comes to things like the payment plan. We've seen them being more flexible in terms of even the price at some point, because now with what happened, we've seen a little bit of down in value, say maybe up to 15%. So now it's when buyers can really leverage on all these opportunities that are there to come into this great real estate market. You have some developers even giving what they call the DLD waiver, which is 4%. Even last week we had about 2 transactions where we were able to get a client up to 800,000 dirham worth of down in value in the property she was buying. So I believe people are buying. People are still, there's still a lot of transactions going on. But again, what most buyers are trying to leverage on is to get very good offers, very good values for their investment. When you also look at the secondary market, we have quite a number of sellers who are willing to match with what the buyers are offering now, but not too much, because when you look at the Dubai market, most of the buyers here are cash buyers. Even when you look at the last quarter, we had about 67% out of all the transactions we had were cash buyers, and I think maybe 31 or 33% was through mortgage. So for cash buyers, for them, they don't really have that immediate, push to just grant a very big discount on their investments. And for them, most people here are long-term investors, so they are still able to be a little bit patient. But for the investors who are more of short-term, who have short-term interest or short-term goal, so yes, the markets, they're a little bit affected with what is going on now. But as I said, it's not in a situation where the values have gone drastically low, So the market is still strong. But again, for now, this is where buyers can come in to then take the opportunity that, developers are offering, either from their payment plans, either maybe to have a little bit of strength in negotiations. So again, that's where we also come in. So we're able to see how we can get the best offers to anyone who is looking into investing in Dubai at the moment.
Who are the top real estate developers in the UAE?
Developers. Well, definitely I'll be starting with Emaar, because when we are looking at the developers, we have to consider their track record in terms of the quality of their build, one, and also in terms of how quick they are able to deliver their projects. So Emaar has very good track record, followed by, I believe, Bengati. Bengati is also a good developer. They've had good delivery track record for so many years. Particularly last year, they had very strong transactions that they did. And again, with their collaboration with some global brands, also giving them more credibility. So Bengati is also there. I would say Nakheel is also a very strong developer to work with. Shoba, very well known for their quality in their projects, and they have very good projects in some good locations. We also talk Omniat. Omniat is a very good developer, particularly if you are looking at one-of-a-kind sort of projects to invest in. So they have very good project as well and good track record. Danube is also a good developer, particularly when we are looking at payment plan structures. So they have very good flexible payment plans, the 1%. We have Ellington too. They're also a very good developer. Miras is also a good developer. We also have Ada, particularly people looking to invest in Abu Dhabi. So we have quite a number of good developers in the market, but obviously it all depends on the requirements of the client. So based on their requirements, we'll know which developer to recommend and who to consider. Whether it's investment purpose, whether it's for personal purpose, the type of property, the kind of financing structure they want. So when we have good ideas on that, we know what developer will best fit in to that requirement. But these developers I mentioned, I think they are very good developers to work with.
Are property prices going up or stabilizing?
At the moment, definitely I wouldn't say it's going up due to what happened. So we've seen the values go down, but as I said, not more than 15%. Let's say maybe 5, 10, 15%. So it's definitely, a little bit lower than what we'll have expected currently. But we believe, say maybe within 12, 18 months, we believe the market should be able to bounce back to, what we were previously experiencing. But the confidence is still there. As I said, in Q1, we had transactions with 31% higher in terms of transactions. So we had close to 252 billion transaction done, which was even more than Q1 last year. So which shows that the confidence is still there. And if you look at that transactions, they were made up of about 67% who are cash buyers. So again, for people to put in their cash even during that period, the kind of confidence they have, particularly them leveraging on the current situation. I think, again, we had about 70% part of that total transactions that were off-plan. And for people who are investing in off-plan, obviously their payments is pegged towards the construction phase. So for them, there's not too much of pressure as well. So I think all of this obviously contributes towards why the price has not really gone down drastically. But yes, at the moment, there's a little bit of decline in the values for now. But I believe in the long run, particularly for investors who are looking long term, Dubai definitely bounces back after crises like this. And as I said, another good thing is how they've been able to stabilize the economy, which obviously is a cushion to what happened. So again, that's why the market is still a little bit fine. But yeah, we look forward to having a very good bounce back in the market as we move along. But at the moment, yeah, the price is just there, yeah.
Do you advise investors to invest in Dubai right now?
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, this I believe is a buyer's market. Quite a number of developers are now flexible with their payment plans. Flexible, I said some developers are even giving DLD waivers. Some developers are, open to discussing on the prices as well. So this is definitely a time where buyers who are looking to invest in Dubai should leverage on these offers that, Dubai is currently offering. But again, that doesn't affect, the quality or value that Dubai has to offer. Again, it's just leveraging on whatever is going on now, which obviously is affecting everyone globally. So this is the right time to invest, capitalize on, these offers you can enjoy and benefit from, which definitely would also have an impact on your returns at the point where, you start generating your returns on your investment. Because again, as I mentioned, I think last week, we had someone who were able to even get up to 800,000 dirham worth of, value, in the property the client bought, so which is very significant when you look at the investment. We have a client who is also looking at closing a villa, which originally pricing was going for about 130, but now at least we're able to push to about 120 thereabout. So there are good offers that buyers can leverage on now. Because again, this won't stay for long. Dubai has always shown that track record when it comes to bouncing back from crises like this. So this is the time for people to come in now, leverage on what is going on, leverage on the offers, and then I believe it will be a good time for them to start up their investment here. For investors who are currently investing in Dubai, even when you look at the transactions going on, people are even investing more in premium properties. When you look at the mortgage transactions, even though the mortgage increased by 33%, but again, when you look at the number of transactions, it was only about 11,000. So this difference shows that people are leveraging on whatever is happening now, going for even more premium properties that are higher in value. So people who understand the market, they have the confidence. So for people who are just, considering investing in Dubai, I think this is the best time to at least take that step.
Make Signature Global Real Estate different from other brokerage companies in the UAE?
Well, I think firstly, the main thing is we need to mention that we're part of a 4-decade-old group of company. For us to be that long in business, it shows our track record and the part of group of companies that we are part of. Again, we have 3 core values, which is very key in our line of business. One is trust. Without trust, there is no business. Number 2 is credibility. As we say, money is something, but money is not everything. So credibility is very key for us, and it guides how we, run our transactions and our business. And the last is professionalism. So we need to be very professional in the businesses that we do. Again, when you look at our brokers, we ensure that we are licensed. We have licensed real estate brokers that work with us to ensure that we provide very good service and experienced service to our clients. Another thing that is very key is in the countries which we operate, for instance, in Nigeria, so we are not just operating from Dubai, we also have our base locally in those countries. So I think that is also very key. So we're not just coming in, doing road shows and then leaving. So we have our base there, which again, I believe gives more comfort to the clients who we deal with in the event they want to, maybe get any sort of service, maybe they need updates or anything. We have our team who are also in countries like Nigeria that are ready to also, provide those services. Another thing that is very key is with regards to the type of services we render. For us, we provide end-to-end. We go beyond the sales. We don't just stay, okay, when we sell your properties or when we purchase properties for you, then we leave. No, because we're after the long-term relationship. So we act as asset portfolio managers or, consultants for our clients. So we help them right from when we help them purchase their properties. We help them oversee and monitor the construction phase of their properties. We help them with the snagging once the property is ready to be handed over. We help them with the handover process. We also help them to ensure that the property is, leased, either long-term or short-term. We also oversee and support them in terms of the management of the properties as well. So it's end-to-end. Because for us, most of our clients are international clients, which means they are not here. So we need to obviously ensure that whatever investment they have is fully secured. And I think that also gives that opportunity, because when we're engaging with clients, we know what their initial goal is, their initial investment goal is. So when we're with you through the whole process, we ensure that we still follow through with what your goal is, right? So I think that also differentiates us from, other brokers in the market. So again, as our chairman always says, he says the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So we're always here to provide our professional service, and we hope to connect with anyone who is looking to invest in Dubai.